So, sometimes you actually got to get on camera and say you was a little bit wrong about something. I made a video on the Apple MagSafe Battery Pack about 3 months ago, and I told you that it wasn't really worth it. I felt like you should skip it. It didn't really do what it needed to do when it came to a MagSafe Battery Pack. But fast forward 3 months later, there's a new update out for it. How do I feel about it? And I think I was a little bit wrong on telling y'all to skip it. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So like I said, I've been using this probably as my main MagSafe battery pack for about 3 months now since I did that initial review of this. And I have to say that I was using this all wrong, and a lot of you were in the comment section telling me so. So I was like, you know what? Let me use this thing for what it's intended for, and then let's go ahead and talk about it. Now, before we get into that, the Apple MagSafe Battery Pack does have an update out there for it, all right? So the way you figure out what your Apple MagSafe Battery Pack firmware version is, you're gonna wanna attach it to your iPhone, and then you're gonna go to Settings, you're gonna go to General, you're gonna go to About, and then you're gonna scroll down and you're gonna see Apple MagSafe Battery Pack, all right? Your firmware version should be 2.7.b.0, all right? So 27BO. Now, the way that Apple has this to update is a little bit funky, all right? Like, you can either slap it on the back of your iPhone, just like I have right here, but they say it will take up to a week for this thing to even update. But the way I did it was I plugged this directly into my iPad Pro, waited about 2 minutes, popped it off, popped it back on my iPhone, and I did see that it did update. So there are some funny things. You can also plug it into the computer and it update pretty quickly. So it's kind of weird. Kind of like the Apple look. Let's go ahead and clean up that update process with the AirPods in the MagSafe battery pack. But anyway, getting into the battery pack, and why do I feel like I told you guys wrong? And I actually think this is kind of worth it these days, especially since right now I think you can get it on sale on Amazon for like 10 bucks off. So it is a little bit cheaper than that main retail price that Apple dropped it for. But when I did my initial review of this, I was comparing this Apple MagSafe battery pack to all of my other battery packs that I have, all right? I was comparing it to all of these, where these are strictly external batteries, all right? These are all MagSafe compatible. You see the MagSafe on all of these, and all of these just plug into the back of your phone, and they do one thing, and that is to charge your phone, all right? So I was kind of going into it thinking it was supposed to be a standard MagSafe battery pack, but little do I know, and a lot of you guys educated me, because sometimes you got to get educated. Sometimes you may not know everything, but I realized that this is not intended to be a standalone external battery. This is more of a battery extender. This is something to just stretch the battery life that you have on your current iPhone just a little bit longer, all right? So that's the reason why I had to kind of revisit this, because I was like, you know what? This thing actually really isn't that bad when you actually learn how to use the Apple MagSafe battery pack. Now, going back to the update, what the update did was it kind of put it on par right alongside the rest of these external battery chargers, because all of these, all external, they all charge at 7.5 watts. Now, the Apple MagSafe battery pack at the time when this first came out only wireless charged at 5 watts. All right, so with the new update, it did bump it up to 7.5, right on target with everybody else, kind of giving you the same charging speeds along with every other external battery pack out there. So for me, that's already a win there by itself. But the way I started using this was, and I just tested this out definitely yesterday and days before that, was I let my phone get to 100%, all right? Now, I got the iPhone 13 Pro Max here, so I let my phone get to 100%. I charged it throughout the night, and then I slapped this on as soon as I took it off the charger. Actually, no, I take that back. I was at 100% around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the evening. Slapped it on because I knew I was going to use my phone throughout the night, and I wanted to see how it would do the battery, all right? So I slapped it up there. Didn't even look at the battery percentage at all. I'm talking about from probably about 4 o'clock all the way until it was about midnight or 11 o'clock. And it finally died, and I looked at my battery, and my battery was still over 90%. Now, I know the 13 Pro Max have good battery, but the way I was using it, it should have been way below that. So what it did was basically didn't actively keep charging it, but it sat there and it just sit battery, it sit battery, it sit battery until it was like, you know what, I'm out of energy now, and now you can go ahead and use your phone regularly. You know what I mean? But it was already still at like 91, 92%. Now, there is an option over here to turn it on to where you can actually charge it past 90%. So it says charge past 90% right here. I don't think I had that option on because I didn't need to charge past 90%. I just needed to do what it needed to do and see how I could use it. And I was like, you know what? that just shows you that this thing really isn't a charger. It's just there to help your battery along throughout the day. Now, do I need this for the 13 Pro Max? Probably not, because you guys know the 13 Pro Max battery is just the absolute champ. But for someone who has maybe a 13 or a 13 mini, I definitely can see this being that extra milliamp hours that you need to get your phone throughout the day. Now, I've never had a 13 mini, at least the new version. I had the 12, but not 13. I know the battery life is a little bit better, but I feel like this will be able to get you that extra battery percentage that you need throughout the day by just slapping this along and letting it just assist you with your battery as you go and using your battery. But I was like, you know what? Let's try to use it in the scenario of an external battery pack. So I let my phone yesterday get all the way down to about 10%. And this bad boy was 100%. I slapped it up here and I put my phone down. It was able to get the 13 Pro Max, and you guys know this is a huge battery. It was able to get the 13 Pro Max from 10% all the way to 60% until this battery pack died out. And in my opinion, that is more than good enough when it comes to the milliamp hour that this little thing has right here. I feel like that was more than enough to either get you through the day, or if somebody needed to use this as an external battery pack. All right. Now, it definitely never did that before when it only charged at 5 watts. When it only charged at 5 watts, from what I remember, it would even get you to 50%. But this one got me over 50% and got me to 60% just with that 5 watt to 7.5 watt difference in the Apple MagSafe Battery Pack. So I just had to kind of use it as a test to say, you know what? Let's go ahead and use it as an external battery and let me see how it performs when we are talking about it on a basically almost a dead iPhone, and see how far it can get me. And for this to get me to 60%, and when I take all of these, excluding the ESR, because this was the only one that can get you from 0 to 100% multiple times, all of these doesn't perform that far much different when you're talking about coming from almost dead to a full charge. You may get 10, 15 more percent with these right here, and that's not a dramatic difference to what the Apple MagSafe battery does. And then also you have to account that this thing never warms up. This basically always keeps your phone cool. You always know it's safe for your phone because it's optimized for iOS. You know what I mean? So when you charge one of these bad boys in, y'all know, and especially when it comes to this Anchor, this thing gets so hot, it's almost uncomfortable how hot it gets. And it just leaves a little bit of worry in your mind when you're thinking about your battery health a long time. But when you got the Apple MagSafe Battery Pack, it's made for it. It's optimized for it. It never really gets hot. It doesn't warm up. You don't really have to worry about your battery health like that. So everything kind of stays all together. So with all that being said, do I recommend somebody go out there and buy the Apple MagSafe Battery Pack? I do feel like it's a good buy, because one thing, you know, it's safe for your phone, and it doesn't just pump juice to your phone. It slaps it up there, and it's more of an aid to get you throughout the day. If you know you're going to be out all day, you know what? Just slap this on. It's not that big. It kind of keeps a thin profile. It can slide in your pocket just like this. The magnet is very strong. Definitely if you pair it with another case that has a very strong MagSafe magnet, and you can go about your day and don't have to worry about it. And it's going to give you that extra hours that you need to just help your battery along. And then when it's done, you should be able to take this off your phone and use your battery, use your phone regular, and not have to worry about it. So if you have any thoughts about it, if it's in the back of your mind about picking one up, hey, pick it up, try it, go get it from Apple, go get it from Amazon. If you try it out for a little bit, if you don't like it, then return it. But just know, go into the Apple MagSafe Battery Pack knowing that it's more of a battery extender, more of a battery aid to get you throughout the day, and it's not meant for an external battery charger.